Imagine this, you walk into a room completely at ease, not seeking attention, not craving validation, yet every woman in the room notices you, not because you're trying, but because you're detached. See, most men chase, they over-pursue, they put women on a pedestal, and in doing so, they repel what they desire the most. The real secret, detachment. A man who is grounded, self-sufficient, and in control of his emotions commands attraction effortlessly. He doesn't need to convince anyone of his worth, he just is. If you've ever wondered why some guys, without trying, attract women like a magnet while others chase endlessly and get nowhere, this is for you. Let's dive in. Step 1, detachment creates power. When a man is detached, he steps into a position of power, not just over his interactions with women, but over himself. This isn't about playing games or pretending not to care. It's about genuinely embodying a mindset where his sense of worth, confidence, and direction in life are not dependent on external validation. When a man operates from this place, his entire presence shifts. His energy changes. Instead of chasing, he attracts. Instead of reacting, he commands. Think about the dynamic between someone who desperately needs something versus someone who simply allows things to come to them. The first person is anxious, needy, always trying to control the outcome, which creates an energy of resistance. The second person is calm, assured, and effortlessly magnetic because they trust in their own value and let things unfold naturally. Women can feel this difference instantly. They're wired to sense whether a man is centered in himself or if he's seeking something outside of himself to complete him. Detachment is not about apathy. It's not about acting cold, uninterested, or rude. It's about understanding that you do not need anyone to feel whole, and that internal strength radiates outward. When a man is detached in a healthy way, he becomes a challenge. He's not easily moved by superficial flattery or attention because he already knows his worth. He isn't seeking validation because he validates himself. And what happens when someone is completely at peace with who they are? Others naturally want to be around them, drawn to their energy like gravity. Women by nature are drawn to strength, emotional, mental, and physical. When a man is detached, it signals to a woman that he is in control of his emotions, that he doesn't crumble under pressure, and that he won't be easily manipulated by neediness or desperation. This is a deep subconscious trigger that makes a man stand out because most men do the opposite. They attach too quickly, they invest too soon, they put a woman on a pedestal before she has earned it, and the moment that happens, the attraction diminishes. A detached man understands that his time, energy, and presence are valuable. He doesn't give them away easily. He knows that the woman who enters his life must bring value, must align with his vision, must complement his world rather than define it. And because of this mindset, he moves differently. He speaks with more certainty. His actions come from a place of confidence rather than desperation. His body language is relaxed, his tone is calm, his choices are intentional. This is the kind of energy that captivates without effort. Women feel safe around a man who is grounded. They trust a man who is not easily swayed by emotion or external circumstances. They respect a man who isn't constantly seeking approval because it shows that he operates from an internal place of self-assurance. And this is where the real power lies. When a man no longer operates from need, but from abundance, he naturally becomes the kind of person who doesn't chase, but is chased. Step 2, emotional self-sufficiency. Emotional self-sufficiency is the foundation of true confidence and unshakable presence. It means that a man does not rely on external factors, whether it be a woman's attention, validation from society, or the opinions of others to determine his self-worth. He is internally fulfilled, grounded, and in control of his emotions. This kind of man does not react impulsively to situations because he is not dependent on them to feel good about himself. He moves through life with a sense of calm certainty, unaffected by the highs and lows that throw most people off balance. When a man is emotionally self-sufficient, he has an unbreakable core. He doesn't seek happiness outside of himself because he has already cultivated it within. This means he doesn't fall into the trap of needing a woman's affection to feel complete. He enjoys her presence, but he does not require it to feel whole. This kind of energy is rare, and because it is rare, it is highly attractive. Women are instinctively drawn to a man who is centered in himself because it signals strength, reliability, and maturity. Step 3, scarcity vs. abundance mindset. The difference between a scarcity mindset and an abundance mindset determines how a man approaches not just relationships, but every aspect of his life. A man with a scarcity mindset believes that opportunities, resources, and most importantly, women are limited. He sees attraction as a game of luck, where he must hold on to whatever attention he gets because he doesn't know if he'll ever get another chance. This mindset breeds desperation, fear, and attachment. When a man operates from scarcity, he clings too tightly, settles for less than he deserves, and tolerates poor treatment because he believes he doesn't have other options. A man with a scarcity mindset will chase after one woman obsessively, afraid that if he loses her, he won't find another. He will overinvest too quickly, seeking validation and trying to prove his worth instead of letting his value speak for itself. This is why so many men experience frustration in dating, because they operate from fear, a belief that if one situation doesn't work out, they are doomed. This desperation is repelling. Women can feel when a man is trying too hard, when he's putting her on a pedestal, when he's terrified of losing her. And the moment a woman senses that energy, her attraction fades. She starts testing him, pulling back, and ultimately looking elsewhere for a man who exudes confidence and certainty. On the other hand, a man with an abundance mindset knows that there are endless opportunities. He understands that women, success, and experiences are not limited resources. There's always more available. Because of this belief, he never operates from desperation. If one woman isn't interested, he knows another will be. If a relationship ends, he doesn't panic or beg. He simply moves forward because he trusts that better things are coming. This mindset shifts his entire energy. He doesn't chase. He doesn't overinvest too soon, and he never settles for anything less than what aligns with his standards. A man with an abundance mindset is naturally more attractive because he carries himself differently. He's not afraid to walk away from situations that don't serve him, and that alone makes him powerful. Women are drawn to men who have options, not necessarily because they want competition, but because they respect a man who values himself enough to never cling or beg. When a man knows his worth, he doesn't tolerate mistreatment, disrespect, or inconsistency. He remains firm in his standards, and as a result, women respect him more. The key to developing an abundance mindset is to shift the focus from external validation to internal fulfillment. A man must cultivate a strong sense of self, a deep understanding that he is enough as he is, and that no single person defines his happiness or success. When he truly embraces this, he becomes a magnet. He radiates confidence without arrogance, certainty without desperation, and presence without attachment. Women can sense when a man is truly in demand, not because he brags about it, but because his actions reflect it. He moves with purpose, engages without neediness, and creates a life so fulfilling that others naturally want to be a part of it. This mindset goes beyond just dating. It applies to career, friendships, and every aspect of life. A man with an abundance mindset never fears losing an opportunity because he knows more are always on the horizon. He doesn't grip too tightly to any one situation, which allows him to remain calm, composed, and in control. Women by nature are drawn to men who exude this energy because it signals security, leadership, and strength. They want to be with a man who knows his worth, who isn't afraid to take risks, and who trusts that the best is always yet to come. Most men, however, do the opposite. They attach their emotional well-being to the way a woman treats them. If she's giving them attention, they feel great. If she pulls away, they spiral into self-doubt, anxiety, and insecurity. This emotional dependence is a major turnoff because it places the man in a position of weakness. Women do not want to feel like they are responsible for managing a man's emotions. They want to feel like they can trust his emotional stability, not be burdened by his insecurities. A man who is emotionally self-sufficient does not get easily triggered. He doesn't overreact when a woman tests him, when she takes longer to reply, or when she challenges him. Instead, he remains calm, knowing that his sense of self is not dictated by external circumstances. This makes him incredibly attractive because it shows that he is in control of his inner world. He doesn't need to be reassured constantly, he doesn't seek approval, and he doesn't fall apart when things don't go his way. Women are naturally drawn to a man who can handle life's challenges without becoming emotionally unstable. When a man operates from emotional self-sufficiency, he radiates confidence and certainty in everything he does. He is able to lead, make decisions, and stand firm in his beliefs without needing validation from anyone else. This is what creates a deep sense of attraction because it separates him from the masses of men who are emotionally fragile, constantly seeking reassurance, and reacting impulsively to every little thing. When a man reaches this level of self-sufficiency, he no longer feels the need to chase or prove himself. He understands that his emotions are his own responsibility, and because of this, he remains composed in any situation. He doesn't become overly excited when a woman shows interest, nor does he become desperate when she pulls away. He remains steady, which makes women feel safe in his presence. They can sense his emotional maturity, and this is what makes him irresistible. Step 4, mystery and challenge. Mystery and challenge are two of the most powerful forces that create attraction, yet most men completely overlook them. Instead, they believe that being overly available, predictable, and constantly showering a woman with attention will win her over. But in reality, the opposite is true. When something is too easy to obtain, it loses value. When there's no sense of curiosity, no feeling of what's next, the excitement fades. Women by nature are drawn to men who intrigue them, who keep them guessing, and who present some level of challenge. Not in a manipulative way, but in a way that maintains a sense of excitement, tension, and respect. A man who lacks mystery gives everything away too soon. He overshares. He tells a woman his entire life story within the first few conversations. He makes his intentions too obvious, and he leaves no room for her to wonder about him. This removes all of the excitement. There is no sense of exploration, no journey of discovery, just an open book that has already been read before the story even begins. Women thrive on emotion, on anticipation, on the feeling of uncovering something layer by layer. If everything is given away immediately, there is no emotional investment, no tension, no depth. A man who lacks challenge makes himself too available. He answers texts immediately, cancels plans to accommodate her, and makes it clear that she is his top priority before she has even earned that position in his life. He allows her to lead the dynamic, to dictate his emotions, and to take him for granted. This behavior removes any sense of value or exclusivity. If something is given away too easily, it is not appreciated. The things we value most in life, whether it's success, personal growth, or meaningful relationships, are the things we work for. Women are no different. They want to feel like they are stepping into a man's world, not like they have complete control over it from the start. A man who embodies mystery doesn't reveal everything at once. He lets a woman earn access to different parts of his life. He shares selectively, allowing intrigue to build over time. He doesn't try to impress with words. He lets his actions speak for themselves. He remains composed, calm, and confident, never overselling himself or seeking validation. He moves with certainty, making her wonder, what's on his mind? What is he thinking? What drives him? This curiosity creates an emotional pull, a desire to learn more, to peel back the layers, to get closer. A man who presents a challenge does not hand out his time, energy, and affection freely. He has standards. He is selective. He does not chase, he attracts. He allows the woman to invest in him, to put in effort, to wonder where she stands. Not in a manipulative way, but in a way that demands respect. He values himself enough to let her show that she is worthy of his presence. He does not revolve his life around her. Instead, he has his own mission, his own direction, and she must align with that in order to be part of his journey. Women do not want a man they can completely figure out within the first few interactions. They want to feel a sense of adventure, of unfolding discovery. They want to know that there is more beneath the surface, that there are deeper layers to explore. They want to feel like they are earning something valuable, not like they are being handed something without effort. The balance between mystery and challenge creates a natural tension that fuels attraction. It keeps things exciting, dynamic, and full of potential. Step 5, strength boundaries. Strength and boundaries are the foundation of a man's identity. They determine how he carries himself, how he interacts with others, and most importantly, how he is perceived by women. Strength is not just physical, it is mental, emotional, and psychological. It is the ability to remain grounded in the face of adversity, to stand firm in one's values, and to navigate life with confidence and certainty. Women are instinctively drawn to strength because it signals security, leadership, and resilience. A man who embodies strength does not crumble under pressure, does not waver in his beliefs, and does not allow his emotions to dictate his actions. He is in control, not only of himself, but of his reality. Most men misunderstand what true strength looks like. They think it means being aggressive, dominant, or emotionally unavailable. But real strength is quiet, composed, and unshakable. It is the ability to remain calm in chaos, to be decisive when others hesitate, and to hold oneself to a high standard without seeking approval. A strong man does not allow himself to be swayed by external opinions or temporary emotions. He knows who he is, what he stands for, and what he expects from others. This kind of certainty is rare, and because it is rare, it is deeply attractive. Women respect and desire a man who is unwavering, who does not let circumstances or emotions control him, and who consistently operates from a place of self-assurance. Boundaries are an extension of strength. They define what a man will and will not tolerate. A man without boundaries is a man who can be manipulated, who can be taken advantage of, and who ultimately loses respect. Boundaries are not about being cold or distant. They are about self-respect. They are about knowing one's worth and refusing to compromise on core values. When a man has clear boundaries, he sends a powerful message: I respect myself, and if you want to be in my life, you must respect me too. This is what separates leaders from followers, men from boys, and those who attract high-quality women from those who are constantly chasing approval. A man with strong boundaries does not tolerate disrespect, flakiness, or inconsistency. He does not allow his time to be wasted, and he does not give his energy to people who do not appreciate it. When a woman tests him, because all women test, he does not react emotionally. He stands firm. He does not argue, he does not beg, and he does not explain himself unnecessarily. He simply enforces his standards with actions. If a woman plays games, he does not engage. If she tries to push his limits, he holds his ground. This creates a natural sense of respect, and respect is the foundation of attraction. Many men make the mistake of thinking that being agreeable and accommodating will make a woman like them more. They fear that setting boundaries will push her away, but the reality is the opposite is true. A man who lacks boundaries is seen as weak, and weakness kills attraction. Women do not want a man who bends over backward for them, who sacrifices his own needs to please them, or who accepts poor treatment out of fear of losing them. They want a man who values himself enough to walk away if necessary, a man who stands his ground and refuses to be controlled by the fear of rejection. Strength and boundaries go hand in hand. One cannot exist without the other. A man who is strong but has no boundaries will still be taken advantage of. A man with boundaries but no inner strength will eventually fold under pressure. True masculinity is the balance of both. It is the ability to be compassionate yet firm, loving yet disciplined, yet open yet unyielding in one's principles. This is what creates a presence that commands respect and attraction without ever having to force it. Women do not just want a strong man, they want a man who knows his worth and refuses to accept anything less than what he deserves. Step 6, freedom and purpose first. Freedom and purpose must always come first in a man's life. They are the driving forces that shape his identity, dictate his decisions, and determine his level of fulfillment. A man without freedom is a man who is trapped, whether by external circumstances, emotional dependencies, or societal expectations. A man without purpose is a man who is lost, drifting through life without direction, easily swayed by distractions and meaningless pursuits. And when a man prioritizes his freedom and purpose above all else, he steps into a position of power. He becomes a leader of his own destiny, not a follower of others' desires. Most men make the mistake of placing relationships, romance, and the approval of women above their own mission in life. They structure their world around trying to keep a woman happy, believing that if they can just meet her expectations, they will find fulfillment. But in doing so, they sacrifice their own path. They lose their individuality, their edge, and their ambition. They become reactive instead of proactive, seeking validation instead of creating impact. And as a result, they not only lose themselves, they lose the very attraction they were trying to cultivate. Women do not want to be the center of a man's world. They want to be part of a man's world. There is a massive difference. A man who is completely consumed by a woman, who prioritizes her above his own dreams, goals, and vision, is not inspiring. He is dependent. And dependence kills attraction. Women are drawn to men who have a mission larger than them, who wake up every day with a fire in their soul to build something, to create, to lead. A man who chases purpose instead of chasing women naturally commands respect. His energy is different. He moves with certainty. His time is valuable, and his presence carries weight. A man who values his freedom understands that his life is his own to design. He does not let external forces dictate his direction. He does not stay in situations that drain him, whether that be a toxic relationship, an unfulfilling job, or a social circle that keeps him stagnant. He prioritizes his ability to make choices based on what aligns with his vision rather than what pleases others. This makes him incredibly attractive because it signals self-respect and leadership. A man who guards his freedom fiercely is a man who cannot be easily manipulated or controlled. And that level of independence is magnetic. Purpose is what gives a man his drive. It is the thing that makes him wake up early, push through discomfort, and stay disciplined even when motivation fades. Without purpose, a man's energy becomes scattered. He fills his time with distractions, chasing temporary pleasure instead of long-term fulfillment. He seeks validation from women, from social media, from material possessions, trying to fill an internal void with external rewards. But when a man is locked in on his mission, none of that matters. He becomes immune to distractions. He is not fazed by small setbacks, emotional games, or external opinions because his mind is focused on something greater. When a man places freedom and purpose first, everything else falls into place. Women respect him more because they see that he is a man of substance, not a man who wavers based on emotions or external circumstances. He does not beg for attention. He does not adjust his standards for temporary approval. And he does not allow his emotions to dictate his path. He knows that his mission comes before everything else, and because of that, he moves with an energy that is rare and powerful. Women are naturally drawn to this kind of man, not because he is trying to impress them, but because he is too busy building something meaningful to seek validation from them. A man who masters detachment, emotional self-sufficiency, an abundance mindset, mystery, strength, boundaries, freedom, and purpose is a man who naturally commands attraction without effort. He does not chase, he attracts. He does not seek validation, he creates value. He does not compromise his principles, he stands firm in them. Women are not drawn to men who are needy, overly available, or emotionally dependent. They are drawn to men who are centered in themselves, who operate from a place of strength, and who have a mission greater than anything external. The moment a man stops seeking approval and starts living for himself, the dynamic shifts. He no longer relies on external forces to feel whole, and in doing so, he becomes infinitely more desirable. The truth is, attraction is not about tricks, tactics, or strategies. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally exudes confidence, presence, and power. And that starts with detachment. Not coldness, not indifference, but the deep understanding that a man's fulfillment comes from within. When he reaches that level, everything else, respect, admiration, and attraction, falls into place effortlessly.